never seen a rope. Pop out like the boogeyman, thought you seen a ghost. Yeah, I'm pressure, so impressive. Ain't no pressure, no pressure. Ain't no pressure. He's over here recording. Ain't no pressure. So impressive.
What is the big old deal, man? It's your boy Damo. We back for another one. You already know what we doing, man, on this side. Man, we finna go ahead and get straight into the reaction. But first, hold on. Let me make sure. I can properly hear everything. Hold on, y'all. Okay, yeah, so we good. Let's get it, boy. All right, so today, man, we got Charlie Kirk, man. Charlie Kirk, man. I don't know how y'all feel about that whole situation, but as far as I'm concerned, I don't really care for Charlie Kirk, man. That's just my opinion. Um, for the simple fact, okay, I can see the chat. Uh, for the simple fact, like a lot of people are misinformed about who that man was as a person, man. The things that he was saying about the so-called black community and Hispanic community, like, and it's crazy because guess who's wearing a cape for him? It ain't even white people, bro. It's my own people. That's crazy work. Like literally, I had my cousin the other day ready like argue me down, talking about it was wrong. Like now, mind you, I don't condone like unlawful death. Unaliving. My bad, unaliving. Right? Because the simple fact that yes, he had a family and everything like that. And it's just wrong when if you delete somebody off this earth based off of their ideology and and they beliefs and stuff like that, like nah, like everybody should be entitled to their own beliefs and their own freedom of speech, right? Yeah, man. But as far as like, do I feel sympathy? Not really. I mean, we got our own that be getting deleted every other day. I just had a recent incident. Literally, I just got a call this morning, bro, or a text this morning. Um, Something happened. An incident happened with my family members. Involving. You know, yeah, man. I'm come on now, man. So I don't feel sympathy, and for the simple fact that I've seen him celebrate people getting unalive. So do I feel sympathy? No, but let's go ahead and get into this reaction, though, man. I ain't even gonna hold you up no longer. Let's go.
There's something very weird going on with this Charlie Kirk situation. I don't think we've ever seen anything like this before, ever. Charlie Kirk was murdered in broad daylight, in cold blood, in front of thousands of people. Now, when the incident first happened, within minutes, they told us, we got our guy. We got the suspect in custody. But after being told that this was the shooter, that this was the guy who killed Charlie Kirk, even the optics.
Which that wasn't the guy. And I don't even believe the second guy that they ended up getting, or I don't even know if they caught him yet. So y'all let me know in the comments. I think because I see you see so many posts every day, so you don't know. You gotta really like. I don't got time to be sitting around trying to yeah. But I don't even believe the second guy that they claim is a shooter, especially after seeing this other video that surfaced online where they showed you like the bodyguard that was surrounded by Charlie, giving little hand signals and these hand signals is not like just like they ain't just like a coincidence, bro. Like those is actual like all this and looking like nigga look like an umpire up there. I ain't even gonna hold you. But hold on, go ahead.
showed that he was a criminal. They was dragging him away, both feet in the air, told him, not giving him an opportunity to pull up his pants while people are screaming at him. We for sure thought, okay, yeah, this the guy. Then like we found out like an hour or so later, no, this is not the guy. He was released from custody. Then we said, okay, like that's weird. Arresting the wrong guy and treating him in that manner seems like something really big to just mess up. So, but we thought, okay, maybe, listen, man, all right, the description is an older white male with similar clothing on, and they just arrested the wrong older white male with similar clothing on. Come to find out, that theory would be wrong because they took another person in custody. This time, the description is the opposite
Okay, so they
of
did get
the
him.
initial suspect that was arrested.
Well, I mean, one thing we also learned was that the gun wasn't recovered at the scene. So it sounds like he managed to do his pre-operational planning, find that spot, line it up where he thought, his victim would be, take out Kirk with a single bullet, pack up the weapon, maybe break it down, put it into a smaller bag. If you get off that roof, you have access right to a parking lot where he could have easily gotten into a car and left. In the video canvas, what we don't know. Did they get a good image of him, or was it just the clothing? Were they able to get a license plate reader of a car leaving that took them to a name? But we know there's an individual about 25 years old who's in custody as that person of interest. But this is where it starts, not where it finishes. That means getting, as Evan pointed out, a search warrant for the house, a search warrant for the car. Do you then recover the gun? Can you match the ballistics? They have a lot of work to do tonight. And they have to figure out, was he acting alone? Who else is there? Who's he in communications with? They have a lot of work to do tomorrow, too.
That left me even more confused. So the suspect is actually 25 years old, and he actually doesn't fit the description of the 60-plus-year-old man y'all arrested initially at all. Then why was a 60-plus-year-old man arrested in a...
And it's crazy. And it's like crazy because like any other time, they would have, like, they got all this technology, bro. I literally just seen, matter of fact, I just seen a getaway, a high-speed getaway chase, right? And that shit was like something out of a comic book. I'm not even gonna hold you. The car shot out some little thing and it attached to the car and basically made the car come to a complete stop, bro. The getaway car to a complete stop, bro. Like, they got all these cameras everywhere, so much digital technology, and how you make a mistake like that? Like, y'all, like, you go from a 60-year-old man all the way to somebody that's like, I think he's like 19, 20, maybe, 20, like in his early 20s, maybe at the least. But how you make that mistake? Like, y'all, what? That already is a red flag to me.
In the first place. That was my first sign. Okay, yeah, there's something confusing going on. I don't feel like the personnel know what they're doing at this point in time as they investigate Charlie Kirk's murder at all. But at this particular point in time, they believe the 25-year-old that was in custody was the shooter. The FBI director, Kash Patel, he even came to Twitter with a fist in the air, letting people know, we got our guy. We arrested Charlie Kirk's shooter. He's in custody at the moment. Kash Patel writes, the subject for the horrific shooting today that took the life of Charlie Kirk is now in custody. Thank you to the local and state authorities in Utah for your partnership with FBI. We will provide updates when able. So, bro, when you're thanking them for their work, it kind of had the tone of, yeah, like the investigation, it's a wrap. All right, we got our subject in custody. We're going to move forward investigating him, trying to get the house subpoena, the house search, and things of that order. He was speaking as if it was a done deal, as if it was a wrap. But usually when it's a done deal and it's a wrap, we would have the name of who the shooter is. We'll have the picture, the image of who the shooter is.
Exactly.
We'll have an idea of what the shooter's identity is, but that never came out. And minutes went by and videos began to surface of what people will say is the alleged shooter that was arrested and put in custody at the moment. But that shooter, or the person who was being put in custody, if that's the 25-year-old, is not 25 at all. It looks like that's another person with another demographic that was being arrested and put in custody.
I think they just found the guy right outside the carry-on. Rifle on this dude's dash, and they just handcuffed him.
Wait, it's another shooter? Hold on, bro. What? It's another.
Shit.
This seemed like they just trying to keep people like keep people misinformed.
I don't know about y'all. That don't look like no 25-year-old.
Exactly.
That looks like a man who's in his mid-40s, to say the least. Mid-40s, maybe 50s. So it looks like that's another suspect. All right. So we're asking, okay, where's the 25-year-old? What's his identity? Before we could really speculate, because people were beginning to speculate that the 25-year-old was this random Twitter account that belonged to this like transgender who made a threat to Charlie Kirk the day before he got to campus, claiming that something bad was going to happen the day of campus. So everybody was already running with the assumption the 25-year-old was this transgender dude on Twitter.
Oh, if it's a shooter, baby, the community. So this person here goes to the university. Of course, they, them, and look at what he said yesterday. He says here, Charlie Kirk is coming to my college tomorrow. I really hope someone evaporates him, literally. And then he writes, let's just say something big will happen tomorrow. So a student is saying this yesterday, and I also find it very, very odd that the person asking the question was asking Charlie about trans shooters before he got shot. So FBI, Cash Patel, whoever the fuck this dude is, yeah, I think you should look into this.
This is it. Yep, there it is. I agree. Chuck, do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years?
Too many.
Because serious, we're on the federal of blood and everything's fine. Okay, now mine is a lot, right? I'm gonna give you some credit. Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counts it or not counting gang violence.
Great.
So you're gonna try and tell me?
You see that? That question clearly didn't have anything to do with black people. And it just had and we know when they speak about gang violence, even though white people tend to be way more violent. It just, that ain't put in the mass media though, because even when they talked about, I remember there was an argument where Charlie Kirk talked about how, I think the statistics was 13% of the population is blacks. And then 50% of the arrests for unalivings are done by black people. But then it's like, okay, you say that, but you forgot to include the part where it says, I think it's about, I want to say about close to 80% of black people that are arrested specifically for those type of charges are exonerated and have the highest rate and percentage of being exonerated from charges like that, from being falsely imprisoned. So if we're gonna tell the truth, let's tell the whole truth, not this BS. That's why when they, a lot of these, and it's crazy because I'll probably receive backlash from my own people for even saying this, because they want to be up his ass so much, be up the oppressor's ass so much, like, bro. Even, and let me just say this as well, because I actually took a couple notes. So I'm gonna tell you some of the comments that bro has made, because I knew about, I used to watch Charlie Kirk's debates and stuff like that, and he does, although he has made some points that I could agree with, but a lot of the things he said is very demeaning. Like, for one, he said we don't deserve reparations. We don't deserve reparations, although this country was built on the back of all our ancestors, though, right? And guess what? And a lot of people they'll like to tell us, "Oh, just get over it. Just get over it. That's the path. The path. This is the future now." Okay, but when you talk about them boys with the hats, if y'all know who I'm talking about, the small hats, you can't even talk about what happened to them. And even when you go look at the statistics ain't even what's been presented to us, telling us it was millions, and it wasn't. And they actually unalived more of their enemies yeah, it's a whole deep thing. Like, so it's like for you to say, and then you can't say, one can't say, oh, you guys don't deserve reparations. I believe we deserve liquid reparations. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But not just give us a bunch of money, because niggas don't know how to, niggas that wouldn't know what to do with money, with all that money. You know what I'm saying? But like I was saying though, like how we don't deserve reparations, but you and your family and your ancestors still benefit off of it, benefit off slavery, benefit off of our oppression daily, still to this day. Your kids is gonna benefit off of it. Your you know what I'm saying? Your kids is benefit off, you benefit off of it. Like your grandparents benefit, your parents, like you can't say we can't have reparations, but you're benefiting off of, come on, man, make it make sense. Now if you that just don't make sense to me. But let's go.
That this student last night said, oh, just wait for something big to happen tomorrow. And then the person asking the question was asking about shooters and he gets shot. I'm just saying. And if the shooter is this fucking psychotic community, oh, y'all going down, motherfucker.
Time to find out that was not the shooter that was in custody.
Wait, hold on. Wait, so the Transformers is beefing with the regular LGBT or what? So they beefing? Am I hearing it? Like, am I tripping? Nah, I don't know. Y'all let me know.
As of now, there's no
That's
word
crazy.
on whether or not that person has been questioned or arrested. But the shooter that was actually in custody, or the alleged shooter that was in custody, the 25-year-old, his name is Zachariah Qureshi. And up until about an hour ago, everybody was reporting that this was the guy who killed Charlie Kirk. Come to find out, that's not true. But then Kash Patel came back to Twitter and let us know, yeah, sorry, we thought we had him. We don't got the shooter, people. The 25-year-old that we had in custody, we released him because he had nothing to do with it. See, Kash Patel took to Twitter and he says, the subject in custody has been released after an interrogation by law enforcement. Our investigation continues, and we will continue to release information in interest of transparency. There's something scary and spooky going on here, bruh. The shooter was able to shoot Charlie Kirk precisely, and he was able to aim and hit his mark 200 yards away on his belly, on a roof, hit his target, and he was able to pack up, break his gun down like this, pack it up, and get out of there before being identified, seen, or caught by anybody? Nah, that was a professional who did that, bruh.
Exactly.
It had to be a professional now. Had to be, man. Yo, to pack up that good, nah, come on, bro. Nah, man. Now, listen, I can't recall a time where somebody this high profile got murdered in broad daylight in public like this in a mass shooting fashion, and we don't know who did it within a few hours. Come on, bro. The only people capable of doing something this clean and undetected is a professional.
Exactly.
Now, Trump did address the country and spoke about Charlie Kirk. Now, I'll say this, maybe it's somewhat of a good thing that the killer has not been identified before Trump's speech, because it kind of gives Trump the opportunity to come and just express himself. If the killer or the shooter was identified and their identity fits within the bubble of the people they've been trying to disseminate or tell people to fear, like trans shooters or like black folks or Mexican folks, if the shooter had fit into that category, we might have heard a more divisive speech from Trump. But I think for the most part, Trump gave a speech, that was pushing for unification of America right now.
To my great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven.
So the person that said, let me just inform y'all, because you talking about a person of faith. How you believe in God, but you sitting up here like you talking about people like crazy. Like one of the other things he said was um single parent households is not due to the system. Like now, obviously, yes, we take accountability to a certain extent, but you can go back even into the early days, you know, the Jim Crow. Just read it. It's the whole thing about it, a whole Jim Crow letter where they spoke about taking specifically creating a system or putting a system in place to remove the fathers out of the household and get the women to start depending on the government assistance. And they couldn't have the men in the household to do that. So that's one thing. That's an actual, like, you can literally just go look that up. Like, that's a fact. So for him to even say that and just sit there and deliberately lie like that, I don't respect it. And that's why I don't, and that's just one thing. He also said black women have baby daddies that they don't know. And as a black community, we just accept it. That is not true. That might be pushed out to the media and make it seem a certain way, but that ain't true. That is not true. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so for you just to deliberately say that is crazy work to me. It is crazy work. He also said we're not smart and we have the lowest IQ. And that right there like blew minds right there. Because if you look at technology, look at these street lights, look at this internet Wi-Fi, look at this cell phone. Who you think invented that? These things, electricity. Who you think invented these things? These street lights, the roads, and like, come on, bro. Like, black people was responsible for a lot of the inventions and the technology and things that we have in today's time. And even we can take it even deeper. There was times where slaves couldn't even patent their ideas because of the simple fact that you would get unalive for inventing things. So white people would come in, you know, take over and take the credit for it or whatever the case is. But like, I mean, the rabbit hole gets deep, bro. You know what I'm saying? And making claims like that, like we got the lowest IQ, we don't all our women have baby daddies that they don't know who the baby is, like that's just not a fact, bro. That's just not factual. You know, that's crazy work to me. But then this is the same person that, which is crazy. Black people will damn near argue you down and try to force you to have some sympathy for someone who didn't ever have sympathy for your black ass. I don't know, man. It's the world crazy, the world we live in.
Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the two young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever, to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals.
It was going so good, and then he hit us with, like the division. I do believe language like this is divisive, because I don't feel like it'll be a victory if somebody retaliated and a famous leftist creator got hit. I don't feel like anybody will feel like, oh, mission accomplished, job is no. I feel like we're in this together. And I don't feel like rhetoric demonizing and vilifying the left, I don't feel like that would help us as America right now, because we need healing, bro. We're too divided.
This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now.
I mean, what you expect, man? And we're going to leave that right there, though. But what you expect? Like, what do you expect, bro? You know what I'm saying? At this point, what do you expect to happen when, this country was built on blood? I'm just telling you, and I expect this to get worse. I don't even think this is going to tone down. I feel like we got a race war on the way. As the Most High said, a land cannot be cleansed but by the blood that shed it. If I said that, if I paraphrase that the right way. A land cannot be cleansed but by the blood that shed it. That, unless it be cleansed by the blood that shed it. So, yeah, man. America is, falling. And my final thoughts on the whole little Charlie Kirkland thing, I could care less, bro, to be honest. Especially because of how he disrespected my people. Now do I agree with anybody being unalive just for their freedom of speech? No, I don't believe. I believe everybody should have the right to say what they want to say. Especially if they're not harming nobody, they're not putting their hands or like physically trying to harm somebody. Say what you want. You know what I mean? I don't agree with that part. But as far as like, do I feel like any like sorrow or I'm in pain? Like, nah, not really. Not really, man. People die every day, B. But anyway, man, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm going to get at y'all on the next one. I'm gone.
Every day it's like I feel more pressure, give more effort. Bill steady rolling in the due day crept up. Feel like I'm next up, life gon' test ya. My range close, aim, know the boy a heavy stepper. Things change, rearrange, ain't no crime body. Heart is weaving through the smoke, got my vision cloudy.